Everyone, welcome back. So, Invincible season 4 just revealed something absolutely brutal, and it completely changes how we see Viltrumites forever. Because for the first time, we are shown what it's actually like to grow up as one of them. And honestly, it's horrifying. In episode 2, we get a flashback featuring a young Nolan Grayson long before he became Omni Man. He's standing in front of a group of children teaching them about one of the most important events in Viltrumite history, the Great Purge. Now, this wasn't just a war, it was a massacre. Billions of weaker Viltrumites were wiped out by their own kind, all in the name of creating a stronger, more perfect race. And what's truly disturbing is how it's taught. Instead of treating like a tragedy, Nolan presents it as a victory, a necessary step that proved their superiority and justified their belief that they deserve to rule the universe. And the kids, they accept it without question. In fact, one of them confidently explains that the purge proves they are meant to dominate, that if they aren't worthy, they wouldn't have survived. That mindset alone tells you everything you need to know about Ultramite culture. But it gets worse. Nolan then casually tells the children that during their next training session, at least two of them will die. Not might die, will die. And what's even more unsettling is that none of them react. No fear, no shock, no hesitation. To them, it's normal. Death isn't something to avoid, it's something expected, something built into the system from the very beginning. And then comes the most disturbing part of all. We see Nolan's own day of adulthood, a rite of passage where his parents brutally attack him, beating him nearly to death to see if he's strong enough to survive. This isn't training, this isn't discipline, it's survival of the fittest taken to its absolute extreme. If you live, you are worthy. If you die, you were never meant to exist. And that moment explains everything about who Nolan becomes. It explains why he was so ruthless, why he believed strength was the only thing that mattered, and most importantly, why he treated Mark Grayson the way he did back in season 1. Because to Nolan, that brutality wasn't cruelty, it was normal. It was how he was raised. But here's where it gets interesting, because despite all of that, Nolan eventually changes, and this flashback actually makes that transformation even more powerful. He was raised in a world where weakness meant death, where compassion didn't exist, where even children were treated as disposable, and yet he still found a way to break that cycle. He didn't raise Mark the same way, he didn't force him into that violent system. And that choice, that's what makes his redemption so compelling, because it proves something important. Even someone shaped by the level of their brutality can choose something different. But at the same time, this reveal also raises the stakes moving forward. Because if this is how Ultramites are raised, then every single one of them is a product of the same system. A system built on violence, on domination, on idea that only the strongest deserve to live. Which means when the Ultramite war finally comes, it's not just a battle of power, it's a clash of ideologies. And after seeing what their childhood looks like, you start to understand just how dangerous they really are. Thank you for watching. Bye.